Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Preview to Liverpool, Old Trafford, our biggest rivals. But it's not a very exciting preview. I don't see a lot of good in this particular preview, simply based on what we have seen in recent games. What can we expect? What type of Man United will we see? It's difficult to say because we are so unpredictable. Even during games, we can go from being the greatest team on the ball and off the ball to a team that looks completely amateurish. How are we continuously losing games at the end of the games? And here's an example for you. Look at how we performed at Anfield and we drew 0-0, right? And then we play against the likes of Fulham, Brentford, and a Chelsea team that is struggling worse than us, and we simply look bad. We made those teams look good. And even though we were laying higher than Chelsea and still are, but it doesn't seem that way because they kept on playing with the same intensity. They kept on playing to the same type of play that Pochettino wants. Meanwhile, we were just playing hopeful passes, and there doesn't seem to be a structure. What is Ten Hag trying to do? Is he trying to survive and just win points by any means necessary? Or is he trying to build something? Because he's been here now, and it's almost going to be 2 full seasons, but there doesn't seem to be any foundation. There's nothing for the players to fall back onto when there is trouble, when it's not going our way. And Ten Hag doesn't look to want to fix it during the games as well, because he just went to make the same substitution that he always does. Oh, we are in the second half. Cool. Bring on McTominay. He'll get a goal maybe. It didn't help us try to keep the ball. Yes, Chelsea were crossing the ball more into the box, but that doesn't mean anything because we have players that can deal with crosses into the box. Kambuala was excellent when he came on, and now we don't have a run, maybe potentially. Evans came on and went off injured again. We don't have a fit left back, and we're playing Liverpool. Most likely, you're going to get Wan Bissaka on the left hand side playing left back to try and counter Mohamed Salah, similar to the FA Cup quarterfinal. Delo would probably go back to right back because against Chelsea, Cole Palmer was skinning him. He didn't look comfortable on the left hand side. So it's not easy to try and analyze how we are going to play against Liverpool because I don't know how we are going to play against Liverpool. We know how Liverpool is going to play. We know they're going to press us in good moments. We know they are going to look to counter with pace. We know that the likes of Darwin Nunez, Luis Diaz, Salah can run in behind and are good with the ball at their feet. So they have so many strengths that we don't know where we're going to be. And with a weakened back four, Liverpool are going to be licking their lips because they are going to be getting opportunities to score. And they were, you know, going to see exactly how abysmal we are against Chelsea. And they saw how bad we are against Brentford. So they're going to try and capitalize on the spaces that we leave in midfield. Those cutbacks that we continuously concede, Liverpool are going to try and use that to their advantage. And we might have someone like Onana in goal who's quite good of late, making good saves, saving us in certain games. But that's not going to matter to Liverpool and Klopp. They're going to come at us with everything they have because they have something to fight for. What do we have to fight for? What do we have to play for in the league? I don't think we're getting Champions League. No. Getting Europa League seems quite slim as well because the likes of West Ham are chasing us, Newcastle. What type of finish to the season can we have if you simply only have the FA Cup to play for? And even that might be unattainable simply because of us not being good enough. Because if we get City in the final, and this is all due respect to Coventry City, but we cannot be outplayed by Coventry City. We can't be losing to Coventry City. That should not happen at all. So I'm assuming we're going to be going into the final. And if we play City in the final, it's the deja vu of last season, and we easily might lose again because we know we're not good enough to go at them toe to toe. So we need to be different. in the way we approach that game. And if it's Chelsea, the loss that we had to Chelsea is going to haunt us because we know what they are capable of. We know what some of their players can do. Just look at how Cole Palmer was strutting on the pitch. None of our players could get close to him. Casemiro was trying to get there, but he couldn't. And that being said, let me focus on the starting 11 that I would play against Liverpool. So, because we don't have any fit centre backs, really, because I'm not sure if Varane is going to be fit to start the game. And I'm recording this before Ten Hag's press conference. So, I'm not sure on the injury updates to the likes of Evans and Varane, who both went off injured against Chelsea last night. So, I'm thinking of Onana in goal, of course. As I said, Wan-Bissaka would go left back to try and counter Mohamed Salah, and he did a very good job of that in the FA Cup quarter-final. So you would probably want to expect the same, if not more, from him on that side. The low would probably obviously go back to right back. And in terms of fit centre backs, you would have Maguire and Kambwala as the two in front of Onana. Not the best, but Kambwala was excellent when he came on against Chelsea, and will look to want to have a good performance against Liverpool, especially in midfield. Now, this is where I find it very, very crucial for Ten Hag. Now, yes, McTominay had a good game against him in the quarterfinal, but we cannot be starting him in this game because we are going to be playing with a man less. And Ten Hag might start him just because of trust and knowing that he's going to get the work rate out of him. But I would go with Mainu, Mount, and Bruno simply because Liverpool's midfield of McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Endo, they're not going to be physically outmuscle you. They're very good technically, and they're going to want to play around you and use their movement in between the spaces to control the game, especially McAllister. So we therefore need to counter that by having players who can, one, track them when they are moving, and two, quite mobile when they have the ball and when we are trying to defend without the ball. So for me, Mainu, Mount, and Bruno needs to be that midfield three. And the front three should stay the same. Garnacho on the left, Anthony on the right hand side, and Hoyland up front, being our only fit striker. Rashford doesn't deserve to come back into this game, regardless of his record against the Big Six. Garnacho scored 2 against Chelsea and rightly deserves to be in the starting 11 again. Anthony had a very good performance against Chelsea and should start this game. And of course, Wayland's our only fit striker. But even with all of that, no matter how much you look at this game with optimism, it's looking bleak. I don't think we are going to be getting chances to score. And if we do, we have to be clinical like we were against Chelsea. But even if we are clinical, we can't seem to keep goals out of our own goal. We keep conceding the same type of goal. We make the same type of mistakes, and players seem to lose their heads at the end of games or when the going seems to be getting tough. So I'm not sure what to expect against Liverpool on Sunday. And I'm definitely not sure how Ten Hag is going to approach this game. I'm going to be very interested to hear what he has to say, but he sounds like a man that is lost. He doesn't sound like he knows what he's going to do with his team. And if we could, we'd probably press the reset button and get a whole new squad in. Because the open heart surgery that Ragnick speaks about and has spoken about is going to take some time. Even with Ineos putting a structure behind the scenes, nothing is going to change overnight. We might get a few players in at the end of the season for the new season, but it's those players who are going to be leaving which is more important to look at. The likes of Rashford, McTominay, Bruno to a certain extent, Maguire. There's so many players that do not belong at Manchester United and definitely need to be moved on before we can look at actually becoming a much better team. But it's Liverpool, and the players have to be up for it because if they're not, then it's just going to be another disrespectful performance towards the badge and Manchester United fans. They need to be better physically, mentally, and we're going to have to show fight again. So let's see what happens come Sunday. I'm dreading it, but still going to end up watching the game. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for joining me. Till we see each other again soon. Enjoy the weekend. Bye-bye, Red Devils. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.